Tellico Village Broadcasting, your source of programming highlighting active lifestyles in our beautiful surroundings.
Hi everyone, I'm Len Willis. I'm your host here for the Tellico Community Players Monthly Show. I have two guests with me today. They are Sue Ackerman, who is president of the Players, and Dennis Loy, who is vice president of the Players. And that doesn't explain all that we do. I'm the artistic director, and she is also the director of the play, of the next upcoming play. And Dennis does all kind of musical stuff all throughout the village, including directing our play in October, hopefully.
Right.
Our last play that we have done was in February, which was The Tin Woman. And we miss you guys. I mean, it's been like now 4 or 5 months and we haven't seen you, nor have you seen us. But we've got to be careful. We all know what's going on with the virus, and we're doing everything we can to make sure that if we do open up and start our next production, which is scheduled now in August, that it will be a safe environment. Dennis, one of the first things we did when we heard about the virus, what happened?
Well, as soon as we found out that they were shutting everything down, I had a team. I'm in charge of the facilities, so I'm responsible for everything under the roof of the theater. And I got a team of 8 of us, and we went and completely cleaned the entire theater and the back and the lobby as well. Mm-hmm. Not knowing how long this was going to be, but I said, let's get that done right away. So we have that all sanitized.
And the theater since then, how much use has it had?
None at all, really. I mean, there's been because of the play that was supposed to be in May. Some of the lighting crews come in to just make sure things are right in the sets, but very few people have been coming in. We're trying to keep it closed, and I come in and double check things, but that's about it right now.
Okay, and Sue, you're the director of A Red Plaid Shirt, which was supposed to be our April-May play.
That's right.
Could you say what this has caused, what problems this has caused for you?
Well, when we made the decision in March to put a hold on things, we were well into rehearsals. We had our cast was set. We had the set itself was virtually finished. So we were about a week out on rehearsal from being what we call off book, which allows us to start really polishing our characters and so forth. So in layman's terms, we were well on the way for rehearsal. To just put a halt on things kind of just, it was an unusual thing for all of us, and we're kind of all in a holding pattern now, which has been a little frustrating for all of us.
Right.
You're right, because the rehearsal and things, the set luckily is pretty well done.
Correct.
Which we could reactivate pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So the decision, we're talking about, our next scheduled play is in August, A Red Plaid Shirt. We have kind of a deadline for that play, and that would be the middle of July. That would be the date that tickets would go on sale, and that would also be the day that they need to keep rehearsing to be ready for the production. So Sue just said that we're kind of in a holding pattern, and that's what we are in. Mm-hmm. Right. We're seeing how the virus develops. Every day you read, and there's been hot spots here and hot spots there and more virus concerns. We're not going to put any of our audience, to our knowledge, at any fear of getting the virus if they come to one of our plays. But I know there are people out there that until there is a vaccine or whatever that says we will cure this virus, you will be hesitant or even not come to our production. So we know our ticket sales may be down, but there are those that feel comfortable and maybe would like to go. One of the things at our last board meeting, and Sue, you of course as president chaired that, there was a lot of discussion about if we go with the plays, whether it be August or October, what type of things do we need to consider?
Correct. Yes, and a lot of the things that I think the world is frustrated with is that so many of us are working on assumptions. And we wanted to eliminate those assumptions as much as we could, so we decided to put together a survey, which we sent out to our full mailing list that we have, most anybody that's purchased a ticket from us in the last 3 or 4 years. But that survey asked general questions such as, when are you comfortable coming back? What are factors that you would use to decide whether you would be willing to come back to see a performance? What would you like to see us do in the way of safety precautions and the CDC recommendations? And so we got a very good response from our membership, or from our mailing list from that. And hopefully we'll be able to use that to make some intelligent decisions about what is best to do, or whether it's even best to go back.
Not the sadness, but the what really bothers me is that we really want to be putting on shows for you.
Right.
We really want you to come watch us do shows, but we're not going to do shows if we know it's not the right thing to do. The survey results will be summarized and put together, and Sue will report it to the board probably at our next board meeting, and we'll make a decision. And that will be held before the middle of July, when a decision for our upcoming play has to be made. At our last board meeting, Dennis, you want to fill us in on what some of the things were that we already know that we'd probably have to do if we did a play?
Well, we're trying to be proactive because we know that the patrons are literally, we don't want to act with, we outnumber the audience, so we know everybody's concerned about that. There's a bunch of things that we're doing. We're taking our HVAC and we're giving a more powerful filter in it. We're going to be installing UV lighting in that. We're also going to be purchasing sanitation stations, and the other, obviously this is the other thing that we're going to be doing, is after every performance, whenever that is, we're going to be completely sanitizing the entire theater as well, because we want our patrons to feel comfortable when they come in there, and that's why we're doing this. And it's not only the patrons, but it's also the actors and the crew that we have to be concerned about.
Exactly.
That's right.
You know, it's everybody that's involved with it.
Because I've made a lot of contacts with other theaters, and I really like it when I hear that they are also interested in their crew and their cast as much as they are the audience.
Yeah.
One of the things that is always a debatable issue is wearing a mask or not. If we decide that a mask is required, then it will be required. You will not be able to attend the show unless you're wearing a mask. That will be decided as well. Entrances and exits, trying to keep them separate. If you've been to one of our shows, you always know the big door. That's where everybody comes in and leaves from. That would probably be our entry door, and we've got a really large door now to the right side of our theater that you can exit from. So we would try to make that more organized, so there's social distancing would be better.
Also entering too. I mean, the other thing is that have 2 entrances to come into the theater. I think that would make a difference too.
We would do away, probably, again, final decisions not been made, with the bows of the actors afterwards in the lobby where everybody comes and shakes their hands. That probably will no longer, until we get a little further along, be an option. And everybody understands that. So we're trying to tell you that if we do a play, whether it be August or October or even after that, we will have made many steps and have already taken a lot of steps, like Dennis just mentioned, to make it safe for you. I don't think he stressed enough the air conditioning and the heating system and putting in the filters and things of that nature. That is really something that was needed.
It's very upgraded. We're upgrading the filters, and the UV lighting is going to make a big difference as well.
Okay, so rest assured that announcement will be making out to the public, you and everyone else, by mid-July is when we'll make a decision as far as where we're heading.
Sure.
Right.
We're looking out for you, we're looking out for us, and we're looking for, again, to get back to the point where everyone is looking forward to come watching the Tellico players perform. With that, Dennis, Sue, would you like to add something to that?
Well, you said it all, Len. I think that we're all anxious to get going, getting things back to whatever normal is going to look like, but we also know that we have a responsibility to our cast, crew, patrons, and we're not going to take any risks with anyone. So rest assured that When we go back, it'll be the time that is best to go back.
Everybody will be comfortable at that time. I think that the probably performing arts and sports are the ones that really have to be conscious of their audience and patrons. So you know, we're very serious about that. We want you back, but we're going to have you come back safely.
That's right.
Tellico community players, want to thank the Tellico Village Broadcasting for having us here and doing the show for us. They have been a tremendous help, not only for us, but for all the organizations within the village that they perform their services for. So thank you, Tellico Village Broadcasting. So with that, hopefully we'll see you soon. We love you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks.
Thanks.